Make an opening statement.
Great job by the College of Charleston. And I came in and played a great baseball game. Starting pitcher Privet, I thought, was outstanding. Really did a good job of locating his pitches. I thought their bullpen did a good job, played good defensively tonight. And they certainly swung the bats well. We couldn't stop them. We gave up the big inning there. Had some rain come in and just had a hard time throwing strikes. They came up with some big hits for runners on base. And, we swung the bats fairly well tonight. We just couldn't come up. But, it's obviously frustrating. I think we had runners on base in every inning but the first inning, and wound up scoring 6 runs. I know we hit the 3-run homer there in the ninth, but would have liked for us to have been able to, tack on a few more runs with some hits with runners on base, because we certainly had guys on base, and just got to find a way to minimize the damage. That's the bottom line. We gave up 2 big innings, had some tough luck on defense there at the end of the game, but the bottom line is they were a better team.
Hey, Monte, this is Will. After Sunday, I know that was one of the big things was finishing innings, and finishing pitches and things of that nature. What can you do to kind of maybe try to turn this around and kind of get guys, focused on what they need to do, just, I guess?
Well, I think the first thing is we got to get out of our own way. With some of our guys are just putting too much pressure on themselves to perform outside of just going out there and being aggressive and competing. And I like what I saw, tonight out of Hughes. I know he gave up the home run. Steffi, hit the breaking ball. But, Hughes, I thought, went out and competed in the strike zone, did a good job. Ammons did a good job coming in and getting a lefty out. Raffield, I thought, threw well, even though he walked a couple guys. He found a way to compete with runners on base. And, bottom line is this game boils down to guys that can pitch with runners on base and hit with runners on base. That's what it boils down to. Your high leverage relievers are guys that can pitch with runners on base, and your high leverage hitters are guys that can hit with runners on base. And the difference, and again, you look, I think we had just as many hits as they did tonight. But difference is we got to hit with runners on base, and we got to be able to pitch our way out of spots with runners on base. We got to be able to, get a ball on the ground and get a double play to get off the field. We got to make a pitch with 2 strikes. We got to do those things, and that's, that's been, the biggest issue with us from, over the course of this season. And we've been on a nice run. Look, up until today's game, we were 10-5 in our last 15. So we've been doing a lot of good things, but we're just, the bottom line is we've got to find a way to keep teams under 5 runs, under 4 runs, because when we do that, we're pretty good. We've lost 1 game. Now we've lost 2 all year where we've scored 6 runs. But, we got to be able to win games 4-2 every now and then and 5-3. And, we've got to be able to pitch and defend, and we got to find a way to, come up with hits for runners on base. And, we can't rely on us always having to score a lot of runs to win a ball game. That's the bottom line. So, I don't know what the answer is. We got a good one in England going on Friday. He's as good as it gets. And, we need him to have a big start for us. And, we need guys like Clayton and Gilbert and Hughes and Ammons and, maybe Raffield out of the pen. That was good to see tonight. We need those guys to, to pitch well for us and be able to get us off the field with runners on base. And we got to find a way to, start, ambushing some pitches early in the count with runners on base. I think that's, that's the 2 things right now that I see. And, hopefully we can find a way to focus on that tomorrow in practice and take it into the weekend.
Anything else for Coach Lee? All right. Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, guys.
All right. Last up today is Sam Hall. Please go ahead with questions.
Hey, Sam, this is Will Vandervoort with the Clemson Insider. I know you've just been the last couple of games, you've been back out there and all, but from your perspective, what do you think is the problems with not being able to, pick up those runners and get guys out there at the end, as Coach says, not being able to finish?
I think the biggest thing, because it's not a lack of talent, it's not a lack of preparation or coaching. It's nothing like that. I think we just put so much pressure on ourselves individually to where we hinder ourselves to be able to make a play or get a big hit in a big spot. So I just think we put a lot of pressure on ourselves, and that gets in our way.
Hey Sam, it's Josh from Charleston. Were there any events today where you felt like you were putting too much pressure on yourself? I mean, do you have any examples of that where that happened with you?
Yeah, I'd say at the beginning of the game, before I had my first at bat, I was putting a lot of pressure on myself just because I was super amped up. I haven't been out there in a while. But once I had my first at bat, I felt like I settled in and I could feel comfortable again. So it was fine after that.
Where do you think that comes from? The everyone maybe trying a little, everyone putting pressure on themselves.
I don't know, man. I think it's I think because everybody wants to be great. You play this game at this level because you want to be great. And so when you get in those big time moments, especially, you really want to be great, and so there's a lot, and a lot of times fear of failure comes into play. That's a huge thing, especially in baseball, because baseball is a failing sport. So it's one of those things where you have to be able to kind of grow with it and accept that failure's a reality a lot of times, and so being able to kind of handle that a little bit better helps. But yeah, I think it's just, we all want to be great.
How do you get yourself back up after that long weather delay?
I just try to stay conscious of my time when we came back inside, because it's super easy to kind of fall into on the couch or in the locker room and get tight and kind of lackadaisical. So I just try to stay super conscious of my time and get moving when I needed to, when I wanted to. So yeah, I mean, I just kind of stayed on my phone, kind of hung out, rested, but then didn't let myself rest too much.
Hey, Sam, what was for you, what was going on this year and what's kept you off the field and exactly, and now where are you at right now and all that?
Yeah, so I hurt my hamstring when we came back from Christmas break, started to rehab that, and it felt better, hurt it again. And so I was kind of battling through that, playing through that. And then I broke my thumb and also broke my nose all at the same time. So it was I was really banged up, wasn't able to do a whole lot. So, but it was actually a good time for me. I was able to kind of take a step back from baseball and really reevaluate myself and try and grow in on the inside of me. Because obviously I couldn't do anything externally. So I took the work internally and made the most of it. So
You're you're one of the leaders on this team. I know guys look up to you there in the clubhouse and all. 15-14 right now, going to Miami, a big series. What do you say to your teammates, and how do you try to keep them positive?
I just think because this is a super easy time to, like I said, put pressure on ourselves. Because a lot of guys, some guys are struggling, it's baseball, it's normal. And our season isn't going as great as we'd like for it to. And we're also getting into conference play, so which is better baseball. So super easy to put pressure on ourselves, but I think it's one of those things where we just have to keep everybody loose, keep good positive energy amongst ourselves, and not get too uptight. That's a big thing, So just try and keep everybody loose and still have fun while we're doing it.
Anything else for Sam?